A couple things. One is capital formation, right? That this business is about a lot of capital formation. Thank you guys very much for that. But you know, if you look at any of the major chains across the world, the capital that's actually deployed in the properties is several-fold whatever we may own in property. So there are a lot of points of capital formation out there. You have to perform in order to attract capital. So how the corporations themselves are financed is, I wouldn't say secondary, but it's only a piece of the puzzle. It's really about capital formation more broadly. And by the way, there's a lot of capital that's privately available. I guess we're two examples of that here. And so I'm not sure that capital availability, that equation changes dramatically whether you're public or private, at least not in this world. The second issue is making stock available or the participation in the company's results available to executives. And there are vehicles and avenues to do that as a private company. So you don't need to be public in order to provide a stake in the results and the performance of the business to senior executives. So to me, you'd have to step back and say, so what's the real purpose of being public or not? And at least on those two dimensions, I don't see a compelling rationale one way or the other. But of course, you know, things go in cycles, and the public markets currently, I think, are a demonstration of what the downside of being public can be, but there's been a great run over the last several years on the other side of that coin. So,
yeah, I would agree with all that. I mean, I think it's actually relatively simple analysis, which is a cost of capital analysis, and that's why on any particular day that you ask the question, you might get a different answer, depending on what cost of capital is, what's happening in the public markets, what's happening in the private equity markets, and the private debt markets. You're not seeing a lot happening right now because in terms of people going private because they can't, because the debt markets aren't available. You did see a lot of that happening in the last few years, and I think that the reason for that is that when you finish doing the analysis of the cost of capital in the public markets, it was too expensive vis-a-vis the private markets, and so people decided, gee, if I'm going to be competitive long-term in whatever business I'm in, I got to have a competitive cost of capital. So to me, at its core, it's driven by the fluctuations in the cost of capital, public versus private.
Our firm had been private for many, many, many years, and in 2003 we decided to go public ourselves at that point in time. And it does have a lot to do with the cost of capital versus private and public. It also has to do with the availability of capital, which sometimes has a lot to do with the cost of capital, but sometimes doesn't. For example, the debt markets right now, it's as much availability as the cost. It's just being able to get debt at any price. And then there's control issues. If you're a group that's can control operations when you're private versus when you're public, and there's less of that control when you're a public company. We've gone public, and we were able to tap into some great markets for private and public capital. But now that the stock market has done what it's done, it seems like it's better to be in the private world, although we've got no plans to do that. It's just something that happens. The public markets are far from efficient, in my opinion. And we recently announced a joint venture to buy some mezz loans. And there's opportunities to have joint ventures to buy hotel assets. So we think that being kind of both public and private, we'll be able to take advantage of the best cost of capital available in the marketplace today.
One last issue. You talk about private, and having been private and then gone public. Private it's another generic term which doesn't cover it. Look at this table. This is family wealth and bringing in another family partner. This is Blackstone, IRR-driven, short-term hold with multiple partners behind them. You have sovereign wealth funds we read a lot about with different motives. So private money doesn't act as homogeneously as public money. So this is just a point that when we have these sweeping generalizations in this room, and I just want to point out there's a lot of different types of private money. We only have one type of public